All right, so today we're heading to Thailand.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
Phuket specifically. We're going to do a deep dive into their real estate scene. So picture this. Those classic, like, turquoise waters and those lush landscapes,
Mm-hmm.
but also, like, a really hot real estate market. We're talking specifically luxury properties and all those international buyers coming back in.
Yeah.
Did you know that just in the first quarter of 2023,
Wow.
Phuket had over 2 million foreign visitors?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's a ton of people. That's really impacting real estate.
Mm.
I'm really interested to hear what you think about this.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how directly this tourism is just booming and it translates right into the demand for these high-end properties.
Yeah.
We're seeing it especially in luxury villas and beachfront condos.
Right.
It's not just like, something people are talking about. It's for real.
Right.
Phuket International Airport, they had to expand, just to handle those 2.1 million arrivals in the first quarter of 2023.
Yeah, that's a pretty concrete sign.
I know, it's crazy. It's like the island's literally making space for more people.
Right. That's a great point.
Yeah.
So, speaking of luxury villas, I'm kind of curious, like, what makes them so special?
Well, picture this.
Yeah.
Private pools, sprawling gardens, you've got the ocean views.
Yeah.
We're talking about villas ranging from 30 million to over 70 million Thai baht.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and they're selling so fast.
Really?
It's incredible. Central South Phuket, that's like the heart of this whole luxury boom.
Right.
They have an 88% sales take-up rate.
88%.
I know. And what's even more interesting is that most of these buyers are coming from overseas.
88%? That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, besides, like, obviously how beautiful Phuket is, what else is attracting these people, especially from overseas?
Well, obviously Phuket's beauty, it's a factor,
Right.
but it's a little bit more than that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these buyers are coming from these huge busy cities,
Yeah.
and they're looking for something different.
Makes sense.
Yeah, lower density, they want peace, exclusivity, but they still want those amenities and attractions nearby.
So it's like you're investing in a lifestyle.
Exactly, a lifestyle that's both luxury and tranquil.
Hmm.
And that's something Phuket can really give them.
It makes sense. You're
Yeah.
not just buying a property. You're buying a piece of, like I said, a lifestyle that everyone wants.
For sure.
So speaking of buyers, we got to talk about the Chinese and the Russian buyers coming back to Phuket.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What's going on with that? What are they doing?
I mean, their impact is undeniable, especially in the condo market.
Yeah.
Just look at the numbers. In 2022, the Chinese bought almost 4,991 condo units in Phuket.
Wow.
And the Russians, they bought 962.
That's a lot.
It is. So there's a couple things happening. Travel restrictions are easing up.
Yeah.
So people want vacation homes.
Right.
I mean, they couldn't travel, now they can.
Makes sense.
And Phuket looks really good right now. It's a great investment opportunity.
It seems like they're not just like coming back slowly.
Yeah, they're jumping right in. And we need to think a bit more about why.
Okay.
While vacation homes are really attractive, a lot of them are looking at renting out the property or even living there for the long term.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating because they're also looking for different things. For instance, smart home technology,
Okay.
resort-style amenities.
It's all about the lifestyle, really.
It really is. It's about the lifestyle that comes with that property.
So all signs are pointing towards like a really positive upswing for Phuket.
Yeah, for sure.
Are there any like specific indicators that show us like, yes, this is really happening?
Yeah, definitely. There's a few that stand out.
Okay.
For example, in 2021, villa sales, they increased by 125% year on year.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's massive. It shows strong recovery, continued recovery.
Yeah.
Also, the Property Guru Thailand Property Awards are coming up.
Okay.
Those showcase like the country's top developments,
Mhm.
and several of them will be from Phuket.
So Phuket's on the map again
Oh, man.
as like a hot spot.
Back, ready to shine. Yeah.
And, you know, this isn't just about the properties that are already there.
Right.
There are a ton of new developments,
Right.
which shows confidence in the market.
Right. It's like a snowball effect.
Exactly.
One thing I wanted to ask you about specifically, we were talking about luxury villas
Yeah.
and the trends.
Mm-hmm.
There's one area that really caught my eye. Koh Sireh and Rawai.
Oh, yeah.
Condo take-up rate there is 94%.
94%. That's amazing.
What's going on there? Why are condos so popular in that specific area?
Well, let's look at who's buying.
Okay.
60% are Chinese.
Okay.
25% are Russian.
So it kind of ties back into that trend we were talking about.
Right, it does. Shows that those two groups are really interested in certain locations.
And they must like Koh Samui and Rawai.
They do. There's something about those areas.
Yeah, so it's not just Phuket as a whole.
Nope.
It's about these little pockets.
Right. It's about the individual character and appeal of each place.
Before we get into those specifics,
Are there any, other trends we should talk about with this area?
I think it's really important to remember this isn't just about numbers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There are real people behind those statistics,
Of course.
each with their own reasons for being there.
Yeah.
They're drawn to the beauty of the island, the laid-back lifestyle, and the potential for, just a richer life experience.
Absolutely. Bricks and mortar are one thing, but
Yeah.
it's about the dreams
It is.
Phuket represents.
Yeah.
So, with all this growth and development,
Mm-hmm.
is there a risk that Phuket could lose some of its charm?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Development, if it gets out of control, can definitely have downsides.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of awareness now among developers, among investors,
Okay.
about being sustainable.
So it's about finding that balance
It is.
between progress and preserving what's already there.
Exactly. And it's not just about the physical environment either, right? It's about the culture, the traditions, the people.
The sense of community.
Yeah. And this kind of leads us into another really interesting thing that's happening, this cultural exchange because of all these international buyers.
Yeah, great point. Before we jump into that, though,
Yeah.
any other thoughts about, the balance, progress versus preservation?
Well, I just think we have to acknowledge economic growth is exciting,
It is.
but you have to be thoughtful about it.
Right.
Phuket's future really depends on that.
Long-term vision.
It is. It's a delicate dance,
Right.
Progress and preservation, finding that balance is key.
Great perspective.
Yeah.
It's not just about, the now.
Yeah.
It's about, the future,
The impact.
the sustainability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's talk about this cultural exchange you were mentioning
Let's do it.
and how it's changing Phuket.
It's really interesting to see how all these international buyers are bringing new ideas to Phuket, like different perspectives. It's making the culture richer, more diverse.
So it's not just, changing how the island looks.
No, not at all.
It's changing, how things feel there.
Exactly. Like there are all these new restaurants and businesses. They're
Sure.
catering to, all these different tastes, but they're still using local flavors and traditions.
Oh, that's cool. So it's
It's a fusion. Yeah.
fusion.
Yeah, like a tapestry with
Yeah.
all these different threads from around the world,
I like that
making
analogy.
this really unique pattern.
But obviously, anytime things change this fast,
Right.
you got to think about balance.
Yeah.
How do we make sure, this cultural exchange is happening,
Right.
but also that we're, respecting Phuket's history?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you can enjoy the new stuff,
Yeah.
but not erase what makes Phuket special.
Right.
One thing that's helping is a lot of focus on the old architecture
Okay.
and keeping the cultural practices alive.
Mhm.
So a lot of the new developments, they're using Thai design. And there's this big push to support, local artisans and businesses.
So it's not just about building new things.
Yeah.
It's about taking care of what's already there.
Yeah, exactly. It's about blending the old and the new,
Mhm.
making sure Phuket keeps its soul,
Yeah. It's authenticity.
Yeah, exactly, but still looks to the future.
It's a tricky balance,
For sure.
but I feel like Phuket can handle it.
I think so too.
They've been through a lot.
Oh, yeah. They've always come out stronger.
Literally and figuratively.
Right. And you see that same resilience in the real estate market now.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of optimism,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Phuket's best days are still to come.
You can feel that energy.
Yeah, you can feel it.
But we also have to be realistic. There are challenges.
Right.
This growth, you got to manage it carefully.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there can be negative consequences.
What kind of things? What are you thinking of?
Well, environmental impact, or even losing the unique culture to homogenization.
Right. So back to that balance.
Always back to the balance.
So we want all the good stuff from the growth.
Yes.
But we also need to be aware
Absolutely.
of the bad stuff.
And take steps to prevent it.
Yeah, to mitigate.
Exactly.
So approaching this growth
Mhm.
with open eyes.
Open eyes, yeah.
Aware of everything.
Being responsible about it, yeah.
Yeah, so responsible development,
Mm-hmm.
making sure the benefits are shared fairly.
Yeah.
And protecting the island.
Protecting what makes it special.
Yeah, the environment, the culture.
Exactly. It's not just about right now.
Right.
It's about thinking long-term.
Yeah, a long-term vision.
Vision for Phuket's future.
Which I think a lot of people can agree on.
I hope so.
Progress with a purpose.
Yeah, that's it. It's not just about building more.
Right.
It's about building better, smarter, more sustainable.
So building a future for Phuket, that's prosperous,
Yes.
but also respectful of its history.
That's exactly it. A future that, honors its heritage.
And that makes me think,
Yeah.
with all this growth and all this interest from around the world,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen to Phuket in, 5-10 years?
Big question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't know for sure.
Right.
But we can, think about the possibilities.
Okay, so what are some possible futures for Phuket? What could happen?
Okay, so one possibility is that Phuket keeps going the way it is now, becoming even more cosmopolitan,
Okay.
getting all these international buyers and investors,
Yeah.
and that could lead to, even more development.
Especially that luxury stuff we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
And the culture would get even more diverse.
Yeah, it'd be like a global hub.
Okay.
Think Dubai or Singapore.
Okay.
They've done a good job of mixing in all these different influences,
Right.
but they're still unique.
I see. Yeah.
But of course, there are downsides to this too.
Like what?
Well, too much development could ruin some of Phuket's natural beauty.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
And the local culture could, fade away.
Right, get overwhelmed by everything else.
Yeah, so it's back to that balance again.
That balance is so important.
It is. It's about making sure development is done carefully
Yeah.
with respect for the environment and the culture.
So that's one possibility. What else could happen?
Another option is that Phuket shifts gears
Okay.
and goes for a more sustainable kind of growth,
Okay, interesting.
focusing on ecotourism and responsible development.
Like protecting nature,
Yeah,
supporting local businesses,
exactly.
and getting tourists to actually want to experience the real Phuket.
Yeah, the authentic Phuket. So in this scenario, Phuket is more about quality than quantity.
Right.
It's about the right kind of visitors.
Yeah, not just any visitor.
Visitors who care about the island.
That makes a lot of sense. But is that even possible?
It's definitely a challenge. It means developers and tourists have to change how they think, and the government needs to support it.
So a lot of things need to happen.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
Everyone working together.
Exactly. For a shared vision of Phuket's future.
I like that. So it's not just about what individuals do.
No, it's bigger than that.
It's about everyone working together.
Yeah, for the good of the island.
Okay, so we talked about, the economy, the environment, the culture. What about technology?
Oh, that's a good one.
How's that going to play a role?
Technology is already huge in real estate.
Yeah, that's true.
Virtual tours.
Right.
Websites for buying property. Smart homes.
All that stuff.
And it's only going to get bigger.
So technology could, completely change how we buy and sell property.
It could.
And how we experience it.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just real estate.
Right. What else?
Tourism.
Oh, yeah.
Booking websites, travel apps.
Social media.
All of it.
Influencing where people go and what they do.
It's powerful stuff.
So for buyers and for tourists, technology is opening up all these new possibilities.
It is.
To connect, explore, experience Phuket.
Yeah, but we got to remember,
What's that?
technology, it's a double-edged sword.
Oh, right.
It can be good, but it can also be bad.
So we have to be careful.
Yeah, use it responsibly.
Ethically.
Exactly.
Because it can be really powerful.
It can change things for the better.
But it can also cause harm.
To people, to the environment.
So another balancing act.
Always balancing.
We want the good stuff from technology, but we need to make sure it's used the right way.
In a way that matches our values.
So using technology to build a better Phuket.
Yeah, a future that's both high-tech and sustainable.
For everyone who lives there.
Visits.
Yeah, a win-win.
Exactly.
Now, I'm curious, with all this going on,
Yeah.
what are the people who actually live in Phuket thinking?
That's a great question. I mean, they're the ones who matter most, right?
Yeah, of course.
They're the heart of all this. Their experiences, their hopes for the future, those are what matter.
So they're part of this conversation about Phuket's future.
Oh, absolutely. They're not just sitting back and watching.
That's good.
They're speaking up, sharing their ideas.
What kind of things are they saying?
Well, they want sustainable development.
Okay.
They want to protect their culture.
Makes sense.
They want to make sure Phuket stays a place where they can, have a good life.
So they're fighting for their home,
They are.
which is really inspiring
It is. It's about making sure everyone benefits.
from all this growth.
Yeah, and that the locals have a say in what happens.
So empowering the community.
Exactly. They're the ones who know the island best.
Right.
They
Yeah.
should be the ones shaping its future.
It's like they're the stewards.
Yeah, the stewards of their own land and culture.
A really powerful idea.
Right.
So it's not just about developers
Bruh.
or investors,
It's about
a
everyone
whole community
working together.
for a common goal.
Yeah, a better future for Phuket.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of possibilities,
We have.
a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
For anyone listening who's thinking, hey, maybe I should invest in Phuket,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give them?
First of all, do your research.
Okay, due diligence.
Yeah, understand the market, know the risks, know the opportunities.
Don't just jump in blindly.
No, definitely not.
So be informed.
Yeah, and find good partners.
Like who?
Developers, agents, people you trust.
People who know what they're doing.
Yeah, who are committed to, doing things the right way.
Sustainably.
Sustainably, ethically.
So find people who share your values.
Exactly. And think about the long term.
What do you mean?
What kind of impact do you want to have?
Oh, great.
How will your investment help Phuket?
So it's not just about making money.
It's about more than that.
It's about making a positive impact.
Exactly. It's about leaving a good legacy.
Investing in a future for Phuket,
Mm-hmm.
that's both prosperous and sustainable.
That's it.
So it's like a feel-good investment.
Yeah, one you can be proud of.
You're not just making money, you're helping the island.
You're part of something bigger.
It's like being a responsible investor.
Yeah, making choices that support Phuket and its people.
You're contributing to something really special.
You are. You're helping to shape this amazing place.
So we've covered a lot in this deep dive
They have.
about Phuket.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about?
For me, it's the potential.
Okay.
The potential for Phuket to be like a role model
Okay.
for sustainable development,
Mm.
to show the world you can have economic growth
Yeah.
and still protect the environment and the culture.
So like setting a new standard.
Exactly. Proving it's possible.
I like that.
You can have a thriving economy
Yeah.
and still preserve what makes Phuket special.
That's a pretty big goal.
It is, but I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Phuket has everything it needs.
What do you mean?
It's beautiful, it has a rich culture, and the people care.
Yeah, they really do.
They want to protect their island.
It gives me hope for the future.
Me too.
So you're optimistic.
I am. I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
I think Phuket can show the world how to do things right.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
It's really important to remember Phuket's future is not set in stone.
Right. It's not like we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's being shaped right now
But-
by developers, investors, tourists.
Right. The people who are going there.
But most importantly, the locals, the people who live there.
So we all have a responsibility then
We do.
to make good choices.
To make sure Phuket has a good future.
So what can we do?
Yeah.
Like specifically,
Well, support sustainable tourism,
okay.
respect local customs,
Right. Be mindful.
be mindful of the environment.
All those things add up
They do. Every little thing makes a difference.
because we're all connected
We are.
and our actions have consequences,
Exactly.
both good and bad.
Yeah. So let's focus on the good.
Be optimistic.
Work together
Believe in a better future.
for Phuket.
A future that's prosperous,
And sustainable.
that honors its past.
And embraces the future.
It's a beautiful idea.
It is.
And anyone who's been to Phuket,
Yeah.
they get it.
They understand.
They've felt that magic.
It's a special place.
And that's why this conversation is so important.
It is.
Because we're not just talking about real estate.
No.
We're talking about the future of a place people love.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's take a minute
Yeah.
to recap what we've learned about Phuket.
Good idea. So we started by talking about the tourism boom
Right? All those people coming to Phuket.
and how that's driving up demand for luxury villas.
Especially those villas.
People want that low-density living, the privacy,
Yeah, that exclusive feeling.
that tropical lifestyle. It's very appealing.
And then we talked about the Chinese and Russian buyers coming back.
Yeah, they're buying a lot of condos.
And not just for vacations.
Right, they're looking at rentals, even living there permanently.
It's a big investment.
It-
We also talked about all the positive signs.
The market indicators, yeah.
Like how much villa sales have gone up.
125% in a single year.
Crazy.
And the awards Phuket is getting.
Showcasing their properties,
For the war.
all those new developments.
Especially the ones with smart homes and resort-style amenities.
It's clear the market is hot right now.
It is.
Lots of opportunity.
For investors and anyone looking for a change.
But we also talked about the bigger picture.
Yeah, the need for balance.
Right. We can't just focus on growth.
You have to manage it carefully.
Protect what makes Phuket unique.
The environment, the culture.
The sense of community.
We also talked about the cultural exchange happening.
With all the international buyers,
Bringing new ideas.
mixing with local traditions,
Trading something new.
while respecting what's already there.
It's a delicate dance.
And we explore different futures for Phuket.
Yeah, different possibilities.
A global hub.
A sustainable paradise.
Each path has its own challenge.
And we have to be aware of the risks.
Environmental damage.
Loss of culture.
We talked about technology, too.
How it can be both good and bad.
A tool for progress.
But also a potential disruptor.
We have to use it wisely.
For the benefit of Phuket and its people.
And we can't forget the locals.
They're the heart of it all.
They're the ones who will be living with the consequence.
Of our choices.
So we need to listen to them.
Empower them.
Make sure their voices are heard.
They're the stewards of their island.
So, the future of Phuket.
Yeah.
It's being written right now.
And we all have a role to play.
So, to everyone listening,
Yes.
if you're thinking about Phuket,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's investing,
For just visiting.
ask yourself this.
Okay.
What kind of future do you want for Phuket?
That's a good question.
And what role will you play in making that future happen?
I like that. A question to ponder.
Thank you for joining us
Yeah, thanks for listening.
for this deep dive into Phuket.
It's been a great conversation.
Keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and keep diving deep.
See you next time.